Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 9th episode of Persona 5 the animation. So, last episode we pretty much wrapped up all of our Madarame stuff, we got everything that he's done out in the open, Yusuke accepted it all, Madarame confessed his sins to the world, and he's pretty much done for now. It's kind of what that ended off on, not much left to really say about that. I didn't say, in the previous video. But this episode, I do remember the title of this episode. It was Maid Watch. I remember that title because it got me excited. Now, some of you might know that I do enjoy my maids in anime. Bonus points if they are cat girl maids, which are actually more common than, you might think. But I am curious exactly how maids will come into play, and of course the watch aspect as well. Now, I'm imagining going to Akihabara, our protagonist going with maybe the guys of the Phantom Thieves group, and just having a little adventure to check out a maid cafe together, and we'll probably maybe meet another social link there, a maid social link. I don't know if or how that would tie into to the next dungeon and all, but I'd be okay with the maid cafe dungeon being our next palace. That'd be great. But yeah, I don't really know exactly how that's gonna go, but one thing I'm fairly confident is that it will be enjoyable to watch. So let's get into it and find out. 3, 2, 1, play. Of course it's with young people. Another persona, cool. Like a slime, like that'll come in handy. Yes. Oh, you probably weren't referring to him when you said that, were you? Never mind. Yeah, now we have an artist in the group. I guess that's to be expected. Yeah. I don't know, what is it? I mean, it's probably materials to make something, like armor. Over there, is there a place to wash them inside of mementos? Does that be interesting? Like a nearby waterfall? But yeah, if I was to have one big criticism of this anime besides the pacing in general, it would be that a lot of the gameplay aspects don't really seem to they don't seem to really meld that well with the rest of it in the anime. Like, I don't know, anything that was meant, like, clearly meant to be gameplay aspects, it feels like they just had to kind of just shove it in somewhere just so they could say they had it in the episode. Like, with that beginning bit here, like, you're just supposed to assume that they've been running around beating a lot of weak enemies for a while, gaining experience and materials and gold and whatever else. But you don't really get to see any of that because we're too busy doing more story important stuff. Which I know you have to kind of prioritize story important stuff with an anime over a video game, but it just makes things a bit awkward sometimes, that's all I'm kind of really saying. I just feel like that's their biggest struggle with making this adaptation is wondering how to handle the gameplay stuff. Like the dungeon crawling stuff, more specifically. Okay. Apparently we just went to the nearest that was saying something? Oh god, oh shit. That I yeah, I mean who cares about washing stuff we found in the dungeon? This is far more important. I'll admit I was not ready for that. That came out of nowhere. Man, there were some good shots there too. Oh, anyway, what was I saying? I legitimately forgot. Well, can't really prove it in any concrete way without revealing our identities. I'm sure it'll go up and up and up, don't worry. Yes, there's no shortage. We'll have work for a long time. Yeah. I mean, we didn't really break any laws, did we? Unless you count the slight break in entering with Madarame. Hot water, great wordplay there. Maybe? I guess we could try. Yes, clearly, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, budget's not great. How dare that cat tell me to study? What does it think I am, some kind of student? What's up? Yes? Is that a problem? I mean, he does kind of look like a bookworm if you look at him. You know, the glasses, the messy hair. Well, messy hair not so much, but glasses definitely. Just stop talking as I walk by. It doesn't make me feel awkward at all. Yeah, school's not a fun place, even after taking down Kamoshida. Oh god. Uh, okay, that's an interesting character. Yeah, don't tell Anne. Sleeping on the job. Is that anything good? Oh, okay, I think it is a cat girl maid. Uh, yeah, you have to get this, Ren. This is an important event. No, it'll help, you know, in your room. Okay, we're being very cautious with this. Yeah, this sounds like a plan, man. I don't see the problem. uh, oh no. Of course he wants in too. I guess we could do it to thank him for the website stuff. Oh. Yeah, don't misunderstand. Uh, are they willing to strip for us is what I'm asking here. Yes, we can't pass up this research. I mean, we are good guys after all. We gotta get on the case. Oh, good man, Ren. I'm glad you agreed so easily. I was worried you might be a stick in the mud. Operation Maid Watch. I would love to find a maid for my party. I guess we're skipping ahead to the maid being. Oh no, that's never mind. Never mind. I would love to see her in a maid uniform. Don't don't kill me, please. And she's a little bit scary, but very sexy, so that kind of takes priority. I was researching more maid stuff. Why do you ask? Yeah, you know, the website with the surveys and stuff. Hope you're running lots of ads. Good for you. His job might not be as exciting as the Phantom Thieves, but it's just as important. Very important. I know, but a girl would answer the phone. Oh man, they're just so nervous. Do I have to tell you my address? The music. Here we go. She's finally arrived. Probably not, but with what the what the cops don't know won't hurt them. Now, who answers the door? That's the question. I mean, I'd be pretty nervous too. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, feel free to come in whenever you want. Yeah, of course they're gonna do this all to Ren, our protagonist. Don't leave me. Ooh. She seems nice enough. Becky. I guess that's not your real name. Who do you think it is? Who cares? She seems like a professional. Hopefully we get our money's worth here. Oh my god, he's so out of his element here. Please stop looking at me. Oh. Oh. Please elaborate. You can wipe some sweat off me to start with. Yeah, even though I'm taller than you. I don't know what to say to that. Man, the Nyas are just... It's great. I'm so glad it's Cat Girl Maid theme. Oh, shut up, man. We gotta blow our cover. Oh, wow, they really did want to get out of there. So she... So she does know them. Oh. Oh. She seems a lot less tired. Okay, this is awkward. But, I still get those services, right? This is awkward. I found an advertisement. Didn't know she was so stacked, honestly. But does that mean no services? Can we discuss this before you leave? Well, that would definitely make the next school day awkward. I never look at my teacher the same way again. Yeah, so apparently there's something up between the two teachers if she knows about the maid thing. Definitely don't get along well. Not her fault. Is that really the same person? Even her hair looks a different color, but that could just be the lighting. I would like to rescue you real quick. Yeah, please stop harassing my teacher. Okay, she's good at playing along. I bet they are. Like asking how you became a cat girl maid that makes house calls. Okay, she accepted it. Shona's a bit weird herself. Yeah, man, she let go of that pretty quickly. She was very much in a bind. Oh, that slight blush, that's actually cute. Oh, is that Skull's icon? Eh, what about study? Are you some kind of nerd? Man, more sweat. Oh, great, here we go. Track team, X track team drama. Just tell them off, Ryuji. You didn't ask. I know about it now. Uh, what did you even come up with that for? So yeah, I guess we'll have to resolve things with the X track team members. Because they obviously blamed him for getting disbanded in the first place, even though it was really Kamoshida's fault. Such a silly looking phone. It really, it's like a payphone. I don't think I've even seen one like that in like ever. I would like the same maid as last time, please. And make sure she actually stays this time, please. I know, right? Call it again. I wouldn't have a guess for that. I love how good she looks in that. It does. Get to work. Yeah, I don't blame him at all, really. I like how he's asking for advice is to his Neko cat girl maid in his room. Teacher. I butchered what I was trying to say there, but you get it. Yeah, that does usually irritate people a bit. I mean, you're the one that told Ren to stay away from Ryuji, so it's funny how things have changed here. Well, then you better give me some nice services if I'm paying you for this. You're not the boss of me. Oh, well then he's probably scum as well. I mean, I'm not really a guilt by association person, but in this case, I feel like it's probably true. I bet it does. But what truly bothers me is not getting the proper services from my maid. I don't think I do abandon the volleyball team. Yeah, such a caring new advisor. No, no, he's not. And what do you mean by that? Well, that confirms my suspicions about him. But will they believe you? That's the question here. That would have been a good idea. I wouldn't really call that proof, but you are right. Oh wow, he took that pretty well. Yeah, just let it go. No, he's not the first one. I mean, honestly, this isn't the first case of somebody leaking information because of Kamoshida. Well said. Don't tempt them. Right? Well, really, yeah, they're gonna do it. That's why I said don't tempt them. Really, she does care if she's eavesdropping. You know, not enough to stop the violence going on campus, but enough to listen. You're tough, you know, I'm sure you're at least level 20 or something, so I'm sure you could take that. But yeah, looks like we went through Ryuji's social link stuff pretty quickly. Wow, this friendship. uh, you know, that mark there is probably from the punch, but it almost looks like a blush, which made it kind of funny. You know what? You gotta decorate the room with something, and don't have a lot of options. Cool. Oh, nice. The one that Kamoshida got fired. You keep saying that, but I haven't seen any of those special services yet. Oh, that does sound pretty good. I'll take you up on that. do do my laundry, maid. I could get a nice massage from you, but just no, just do my laundry. I would have rushed right to the massage, really. So yeah, that was the episode. This episode seemed to basically just be the maid watch stuff and Ryuji social link stuff. Which I don't want to be a broken record saying the show is rushed and rushing things over and over again, but you know, it went to that Ryuji stuff really quickly. Because of Persona 4 at least, I keep saying Persona games, but Persona 4 is the one I really played. The social but the way the social link stuff would work is you would have these little scenes, you know, spaced out from each other, and then this just kind of just went through them all really like it's like bounce. It's like one solid line instead of a dotted line. I don't know. It just feels weird when they do that. Oh, some Persona fusing. Oh god, Persona murdering slash fusing. And also, yeah, there's a lot of the Persona stuff seems really arbitrarily placed. But I guess there's nothing really they can do about that. It's not really a good place for them. You two need more screen time. Yeah, more mayhem. So made me dizzy. Oh, back to the interrogation. So this ties into the next boss. And he really did get beat up, didn't he? Yeah, he does definitely looks like a bad guy. I will, just not this episode. Be patient. There's many more episodes to go. Okay, so that was the 9th episode of Persona 5, the animation. And we didn't really have a lot of story, overarching story stuff. It was just mostly personal stuff like Ryuji's situation and Kawakami's situation, which was more interesting to me at least. But yeah, we started off in the beginning with just doing mementos, which they're just going to go further down over until they reach the bottom, I guess. And they mentioned something about getting materials like from monster drops, like you would do in Persona games. You would sell them or use them to make something or whatever. But they didn't really expand on that much, really. I thought maybe we would get a bit of a scene where it's like, okay, I got these materials and look at this cool thing I made, but we didn't really get that, did we? At least I don't think we did. But what we did get was an bathing scene. That I'm still a little bit salty about not getting the new drawing scene, but that was pretty good. That's not a replacement for a scene watching somebody draw and in the nude, but it's pretty close. That was still pretty good. I was a fan of what I saw there. But yeah, like I said, the main thing here was the maid stuff and the Ryuji stuff. Now the maid stuff. I initially thought the maid stuff would be them going to a maid cafe and meeting a maid, and then something would happen there that would get at least Ren involved with her a bit more deeply. But instead, they decided to call the maid to come to them, and because they didn't want the maid to come to their actual home, because I guess that would cause some problems, especially because, well, in this case, the maid is a teacher. But so what they opted to do was call her to just an abandoned room that she could just bring her into. Of course, Mishima and Ryuji just kind of got out of there as quickly as they could because they just were chicken. Now, one thing that nobody counted on was the maid being the teacher, Kawakami. I was a little bit confused because he kept commenting, that voice sounds familiar. I think I know this person from somewhere. So I was trying to think, who is she then? I mean, I try to think of the women we know in this show. But she did not look that much like Kawakami to me. Even after I saw Kawakami later in the episode, I was like, is that really the same person? I mean, I would not have known if it wasn't pointed out to me. Partly because Kawakami hasn't had a huge amount of screen time or anything. But what we do see with her, she just seems very tired and like... At first she seemed like I didn't care, but eventually I kind of really picked up on... I think it's more just being tired, just probably has a really busy life, which now we know why. She's apparently moonlights as a maid, a cat girl maid that goes to people's houses and provides them special services. Not really the kind of thing you would expect from your homeroom teacher, generally speaking. But I think this is a pretty great discovery, really. Because if you're a terrible person, this is excellent blackmail, but even if you're not a terrible person, just the forbidden nature of having your teacher come over to give you special services would be alone pretty great. And if she refuses to do this for you because you're a student, you could just blackmail her, obviously, because that's very easy blackmail material. But Ren's not the kind of guy that would do that. He would never do that. So it was pretty funny when everyone realized what was up in that situation. Is like, are you a student? Wait, are you my student? You're that transfer student, aren't you? It was pretty funny, but I had no idea Kawakami was that stacked, but apparently she was, and she did look really nice in that maid outfit. Like I think she should wear that at school when she's teaching. The faculty, they might not be a big fan of it, but the students definitely would. I know I would. Many viewers at home would as well. So I don't think that will end up happening, but that would be great if that could end up happening. But apparently Chono was somewhat suspicious of Kawakami. I don't think she knew specifically about the maid stuff. Which is what I thought at first because of what Kawakami said. But I think it's just a matter of Chono was suspicious of her because of some of her activities, so she just kind of, think something's up because she's very paranoid about scandals because of the things they've had to do before with Kamoshida and all that. The school really can't afford any more scandals, so I can kind of understand Chono being a little bit on edge about that sort of thing, but I feel like she could, I think she'll still be a little bit rude to Kawakami there when she had no real proof that anything, nefarious was going on there. And our protagonist, Ren, was nice enough to help her out there. I was thinking that the next time they would see each other would be in the class, and we would get a very awkward scene of Ren just looking at the teacher and Kawakami just like looking to the wave, like slightly blushing. Like I thought we would get something like that, which would be great, but no, we didn't really get that. But that's fine, I suppose. But hopefully we can have more special services from Kawakami, more than just the laundry. But the laundry is great too, don't get me wrong. If she could do things like laundry and cleaning, that would be worth it. But I would like something more like the massage as far as special services go. More stuff in that vein. That's at least that's what I would prioritize if I was given in a situation. But Ren's a little bit different than I am. But of course, I was just proud of Ren just being willing to go with this plan at all. Like I thought we'd get a couple minutes of Ren be like, "No, we can't do this. This is wrong. We're just students. We shouldn't do something like this." I thought we would get some of that, but I'm glad Ren actually didn't take that much convincing. He was like, "You know what? This sounds like a plan. I'm in for it, guys." So yeah, I like how Ren didn't go full on wet blanket there. So I really do appreciate that. And that was about half-ish of the episode. The other half was more focused on Ryuji because Ryuji has some drama with the track and field club because he punched Kamoshida, because of he was just being absolutely horrible to the track and field club because the track and field club were competitors against his precious volleyball club and he didn't want that, so he made it his mission in life to destroy it, and that pissed off Ryuji, who really had a lot invested in this, so just that's why things happened there. And everyone blamed him for the disbanding of the club because he punched Kamoshida, even though Kamoshida had to come in. So they really shouldn't have really flashed out against Ryuji the way they did. But this whole thing was about basically resolving the personal issues with the other members. And basically the situation there was that they were trying to get back together. They were like, new club advisor would be somebody who wasn't any better than Kamoshida, just Kamoshida light. Pretty much has evil schemes, which nobody's surprised. I knew he'd be just as bad as Kamoshida. Maybe not just as bad. Maybe that's not fair, but he's not a good person either. But luckily things worked out. They were able to figure out what his true intentions were, talk to the other track and field club members, tell them what's up. And in the end, with the help of a teacher at Chono, we actually were able to get the original coach back on the team. So I assume that's the conclusion of Ryuji's social link stuff, like, because usually the social link stuff in Persona games, it was like it's a single story. And that single story here is that making things right with the track and field club. And I think they finished that. Plus he got an item at the end of it, the ramen bowl thing that he put on a shelf, so that also indicates to me that was probably the end of the social link. So I hope we get into Anne's next time, for obvious reasons. I'm very much interested in getting more of Anne, to say the least. We did get some good amount of Anne in this episode, at least where I counted, but I would like to get more into her as a character, really, if at all possible. I don't care much for Yusuke. That could be delayed or cut out. I probably wouldn't care that much. I don't care much for Yusuke one way or the other, to be honest. Morgana probably aren't going to get into any social link stuff with him until later on in the series, I would assume, because there is a lot of mystery about him. We don't want to reveal mysteries too early in the anime. So I don't see us getting into that for anytime soon. But I do assume we would get into Anne stuff fairly quickly because Anne, Ryuji, they're like the closest to Ren, so I figure we would get to them first. See, I'll just get to the episode, see if there's anything else I want to touch on, besides the stuff where I did, like that glorious maid uniform and all the Nya dialogue. It was kind of funny when they took him up on the offer to punch him. That was kind of funny. The fact that Kawakami just eavesdropped on the whole thing and didn't really mind the violence at all. I guess because of the context of it, which most teachers wouldn't care about the context of it. But yeah, I think that really is about it. Yeah, it was just kind of funny when she just suddenly appeared at the laundromat just doing his laundry, because that's kind of what Red wanted her to do, because that's apparently where his priorities lie. Anyway, that was the episode. I was really expecting a lot from the maid episode, and for the most part, I was happy with it. Of course, I preferred the maid stuff over the Ryuji stuff, but that's just because of how the Ryuji stuff was handled. I don't know, just the way it was rushed didn't really give me much time to really have much emotional investment in any of the little things that were happening. Sometimes I was like, okay, who are you again? Oh, you're that one character, aren't you? And it's like, it just didn't really do much for me. But overall, I would say it was a very good episode. It didn't get into any serious overarching story elements, but I figure we'll get into that soon enough. The episode did end off on mentioning what will most likely be our next boss, Kanashiro, who does not look like a nice person in the slightest. So Next episode, we're probably getting to exactly what makes him such a terrible person, how we discovered him, and how we'll take him down. So that should be fun to get into. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.